goes out to Camilla, East Dun, Bombay, Julie, number 11 Mango. Best to wicked pass and shoot to let it not go. Lord of mercy. Big up Mecca, big up the right mango. Politics church, everyone should go. Big up Mecca, big up the right mango. A politics church, everyone needs to go. Context matter when you know where to flow. Step out the literacy and come in on the know. The government let them go down below. Let them pop them back, time come for them go. Everybody now I live in a sorrow. Don't know how them a face tomorrow. Them poor and them a borrow. Everybody wanna that you for know. Make a big up the right mango. Politics church, everyone needs to go. Big up the right mango. Politics church, everyone needs to go. Make a big up KamlatheRipeMango. Politics church, everyone needs to go. Oh, special, another one, Camilla. Some said that she liquor, but they know she tell her. Every day she fighting for Jamaica. Fighting for your little son and fighting for your daughter. Fight for your sister, fighting for your brother. Every day they get the people that suffer. Hospital in a disaster.
Good evening.
People that not up the water. Money missing all over. People do you know them a suffer. From Nigger Point on to Port Maria. Happy and you love it if you ball out power. No weapon from against her rather prosper. That you guided by the hands of the mighty Father. Make a big up the right mango. Politics church, everyone need to go. Make a big up the right mango. Politics church, everyone need to go.
Hello everybody, good evening. Sorry I'm a little late, let me apologize. I was a part of a very important meeting and made it have to go. It did go over. First and foremost, the meeting started late and it's sake of that it go over time. So again, my apologies. Good evening to everybody. Good evening Elaine, good evening Maxine and North Star. Good evening Morris Morgan, Unfriendly, Missy Owls, Natalia, everybody who joined, the 55 on TikTok and the 19 on YouTube so far. Big up on yourself. Welcome. Alright. Now we have a whole heap of things to talk about. But first, there is a piece of breaking news item. I hope the picture download. There is a piece of breaking news item that we have to talk about. Tonight's meeting though, we will have, for tonight's on the altar, we're going to have Comrade Patricia DUNCAN-SUTHERLAND, as we had said yesterday. So she will be on in approximately 10 minutes. Alright. But we have a piece of breaking news item from the Integrity Commission. So what one, Christopher? So apparently the illicit 6 is now the illicit 2. So them say. So the illicit 6 is now, let me share it. Make I share it. I want you to see it. The people them say the illicit 6 is now the illicit 2, according to the Integrity Commission. And they also, well, we're going to talk about the other part after. But just so you know, breaking news. The Integrity Commission just released a report saying the illicit 6 is now the illicit 2. All along, labor rights been saying that there is no illicit 6. And it's a figment of the PNP's imagination. Well, the illicit 6 is now the illicit 2. Alright, so I don't know what kind of deal make her. Anyway, that is for them business, right? That is for them business. Cockroach no business in a foul fight. All I know is that this thing has been hanging over the government head for a while, and finally it looked like them getting some kind of breakthrough, because now the illicit 6 come down to 2. Who those 2 members are, we do not know. The members that are on the investigation for illicit enrichment, we really don't know. But just so you know, breaking news, the Integrity Commission has stated that it is no longer 6 people there investigating. It is now 2. But when you look on the report, because the report dropped The year before it was 13, and that withered down to 6. So there were 6 people. So it looked like, say, the people them who was under investigation know themselves. You know what? We're just going to leave that argument alone for right now. We're going to go into that because it's a whole heap of talking we're going to have to put on for that. I want to deal with that after we talk to Comrade Pat. You understand? Make we deal with Comrade Pat first. But I have good news. I have excellent news. So, make I find him. Sulfa has surfaced. Right? Sulfa has surfaced. Popular YouTube blogger Sulfa, who had fallen off the radar after posting a very worrying worrying video. He has surfaced, right? So he posted a video today. He said that due to the hurricane, he had no light. He did go to court. He did schedule the video. However, he was unable to remove the schedule because of the situation with Beryl, with no light and no internet connectivity. So he really and truly got back internet connectivity only today. And so as a result, it is what it is. I'm going to just play a brief part of I'm just going to play a brief part of his video for you so that you can hear what Sulfa had to say. He says he still does have this ongoing court case. He still feels very much that he is being targeted for his views. However, it's not that he was detained. He says that he did go to court, but he was not detained on this occasion. But because of the light and thing, our court did cancel because of the hurricane.
Not in prison, at least not yet. People, this is not a joke, but I was advised by my lawyer that I am currently facing 15 to 25 years for the dumbest charge ever. While my house get broken at 3 times already and the summer just drop, the system a try hold me, or somebody a try hold me, and real criminals out there. People, that video they want to see was not supposed to drop as yet. Normally when I go court, after I leave court, me that video fi drop at the next court date, a date after the next court date. But the fact that the hurricane forward, basically the same day, the Wednesday, from the court date, I was actually advised by my lawyer, big up Scott James law firm, that the court date was put off, but I simply did not remember to reschedule the video, so the video ended up drop, and I did not remember anything about this video because I did this video about not the last court date, I think the court date before that court date. I did this video because I felt like this video was needed to be done. But the only reason why this video got put out is because the light went away. I had no light and I had no access to the internet or any electricity where I live. So that's the reason why that video was out. I was unaware of this video even being out. Yesterday was when I even realized that this video was out, and this was actually out. Like when me find out, like the police, me literally go to the police station and go report, and the police tell me, say somebody call, ask if me they are prison. I say if me they are prison. Then I say wait, prison? Prison. Oh, me don't know, say me they are prison. I say shit, me they put out of it. Then me remember, say the video schedule, and me I say shit, but me still never have the light. So I today now, before me can even come and say anything. So
well, that is what he said, and I am just relieved. I'm just relieved. Big up to the young blogger. We don't want him to stop fighting for the rights of people. We don't want to lose his insight. You understand? We want him to continue to speak up. We don't want his young voice muted. So big up to the young blogger, I'm happy that he's okay, because God know already we did ready for go to war for him. First and foremost, again, we must point out that nobody in the PNP knows this young man. This is why it was so. Normally, we can track down our own. We don't know this young man. He's not a comrade. But the young man is spitting facts. And we have to admit that. He is spitting facts. And so, as a result, we have to try. And when you see young people like this who come out and just lend them voice, they're brave enough to go out and talk. Some comments on the live was, yeah man, he's a brilliant young man. And tap up the live, share up the live. Wanna know the story in a TikTok. Wanna know the story in a YouTube. You know, so I have to share up the video. You know, sharing is caring. Thank you, Comrade Natalie. I see you over YouTube working. TikTok. Let's get the numbers up. Let's get the numbers. Me see a whole heap of termite over here. Let them get them orders. I mashed some termites yesterday and I said it looked like the head of one of the termite head them send them come. So them coming one by one, but them don't really know. So we have, you see our moderators over here. Hey, unfriendly, trigger happy, you know. So don't joke with unfriendly. As you go so unfriendly is going to zap you. Alright. I see the sharing going on. Alright, so that is that. Okay, we are gonna touch base with Comrade Pat in a short while. She's not on TikTok, so you know it will be via a phone call, right? But in the meantime, in between time, we have something to laugh about. Somebody get them can mashed today now. Somebody get booping at them head today now. Why did Dr. Michael Abrahams have to do TUFTON so bad? Him doing bad, you know. Dr. Abrams angle and triangle TUFTON today now. Who saw the article? But whether you see it or not, I am going to read it for you. Because listen, it is very important that we don't allow TUFTON to get away with the lies that he constantly puts out there. You understand? So I'm going to find it for you and I'm going to read it for you. Let me have it right here. All right. So this was his headline is No Minister. All right. So on July 1 in this newspaper, in a letter to the editor, I am equally disappointed in Drs. Rattray and Abrams. Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher TUFTON, responded to recent articles written by me and my colleague, Dr. Garth Rattray, in which we expressed dissatisfaction with the state of our health sector and his management of it. In the minister's response, he claimed that less than thorough analysis, half-truths, and anecdotes have been allowed to be portrayed as facts. Wagwan, apples, wagwan. Good night, everybody. Okay, so comrades, I'm just noting the time. It's time to touch base with Comrade Pat, and that's what we're going to do right now. All right. So give me a minute and let me touch base with her, because tonight program we're gonna be talking to Comrade Patricia DUNCAN-SUTHERLAND. Hi, Comrade Pat. Ready for me now? You have a TikTok account? All right, I'm gonna send you the link now, and you can join the live, and then I'll invite you to come on. I'm very happy that you're on TikTok. All right, gonna send you the link now. All right, that's good. So we will definitely have Comrade Pat on TikTok. All right. So give me a minute. So just give me a minute. Let's wait for Comrade Pat to join us. And once I see her pop up, we will definitely begin the chat. Yeah, man, him can't twist, you know. Him can't twist, him can't. Let me tell you something. Him can try. Okay, she's here. She is here. All right, Comrade Pat. Tell me hello. Say hello, Comrade Pat. Let me add you as a guest. Hopefully your page can go live. Boy. TikTok has so many technicalities. Just type hi, Comrade Pat, so that I can get you on. I can see the invite because it don't give me the option to invite you on as a guest as yet. Hey, what's up? What's up, Miss Colleen? I see you. All right, I'm just waiting to hear from her. Let me see, type something. Comrade Pat, just type something for me in the chat so that it can pop up. Hopefully you can come live. Hey Silent, how you doing? Okay, excellent. So I'm gonna see if I can add you now. I see you. Hopefully you pop up so that I can add you. Comrade Pat, there is a little icon below that basically asks you to join. It's on the left side at the bottom of the screen. Guess, okay, I see you. I sent you the invite. So you can come on now. So just click on the invite. Perfect. Excellent. Good night, Comrade Pat.
Good night.
All right.
Turn off the camera because I'm in the car. Is my camera off? It's off, yes.
All right. Excellent. Okay, so everybody welcome Comrade Patricia Sutherland, who is the president of the PNP Women's Movement. She is also the PNP candidate in Eastern St. Andrew, my constituency, as well as the shadow minister on social transformation and social, what's the other word? Protection, social protection, a very long title. All right, so welcome to Politics Church, Comrade Pat. Thank you for joining us at the altar.
Thank you very much for having me.
Certainly.
I'm confident that it's my very first time on listening to Politics Church as well as participating.
I am happy to hear that.
I apologize. Too much work.
Yes, I know. All right, yes. So a lot has been happening since the passage of Beryl. First and foremost, how badly was Eastern St. Andrew affected by Beryl?
Well, relatively speaking, if I'm going to compare to the parishes of St. Elizabeth and Manchester and Clarendon, not very bad.
Okay.
But there were quite a few people who would have had issues with leaks in their homes. And I am aware of about 8 persons who had significant damage to their roofs and 1 basic school. So, I mean, there might be more, right? Because I wouldn't necessarily get every report, but we did do a comprehensive tour of the constituency to find out and to inquire, and our people on the ground, of course, have also been in touch with the people in their community to make sure we are aware of what's occurring. So I would say the other big issue would be light and water, right? Light has come back to most areas now. There are still a few areas, and water is an issue. And so a lot of the constituency only has water at night now.
Okay.
And then, but at least you get water for part of the time, so it's a little bit not so bad. And then the other big issue is garbage collection. I just actually got a report from Mona about the lack of garbage collection that we're trying to see if we can contact the people at the NSWMA. to see if they can go and do something about that.
All right, so it seems as though in terms of the infrastructural damage, Eastern St. Andrew didn't really get much of an impact. But what about the social issues to inside the constituency? What's going on with the people now? How are they affected? How were they affected by this the passage of the hurricane?
Well, as I say, for the people, the major thing would have been the inconveniences that came along with water, garbage collection, light. But outside of that, it would just be the social ills that they have been facing on a day-to-day basis. The general high cost of living that we all face in Jamaica now, that has really been a real challenge, especially when you're going to communities that have a lower socioeconomic background. Right? Things tough in Jamaica.
That is true.
And it's really just tough in Jamaica. It's going to get a little tougher because the parishes that have been hardest hit are the parishes that provide most of our food.
Right.
So very basket parishes. So we know that we're going to have to breathe for that and how we can support in that kind of space.
Definitely.
So I'm kind of glad that I was able to support all of the parents in the primary schools with back to school gift.
Okay.
Because we decided to do back to school and it's different this year.
Okay, you do it at the end of the term instead of the beginning.
The school term, instead of during the summer. And instead of doing it as a fair, right? In this way, every child in the primary school would get some assistance.
Okay.
So,
excellent.
from grade 1 to grade 6, whether they got books, pencils, and erasers and sharpeners, or they got a book bag for grade 2 and 4.
Okay,
So
excellent.
that's what we do.
A lot of people don't know that Eastern St. Andrew is a very, very unique constituency in that every single socio-economic group is represented in Eastern St. Andrew. It's a very small constituency, but it has a wide cross-section of people. How has been the reception to your candidacy in the constituency?
Well, I would have to say I feel very welcome, and as a member of the community, of the Eastern St. Andrew community.
Born and grow.
Born and grow here, so part of it is that, in that I lived in Mona for a while, lived at Bamboo Avenue, so a lot of the people in Standpipe and Augustown and those areas, so have some antecedents there. As well as my own work inside of Unite for Change, and also with my sister Donna when she was doing the work with the Violence Prevention Alliance.
Okay.
To work in some of the areas. So, and then with my father as well, right? And then Imani. So, and then everybody is also referencing Keith. So, our family has strong roots in Eastern St. Andrew.
Okay.
So, we can relate across the board. And I believe that my own experience in politics and understanding how to work with people and facilitate people so that they become empowered in their own seeking of solutions for themselves is also helping. Because I see myself as a facilitator, as a politician.
Excellent, excellent. All right, so you are the president of the women's movement. How do you intend to help the women in Eastern St. Andrew? Because we have a big problem with a lot of women in Eastern St. Andrew being unemployed.
Well, and this is an island-wide problem, right? So unemployment is higher amongst women than it is amongst men. And women get paid less for the same job than a man does. So although we have equal pay for equal work, they still find a way. There are still nuances that you can put into the contract that would allow the bias to come through in how you determine how much to pay a woman versus a man doing the same job. So this is part of our own advocacy as a women's movement, overall advocacy. So how we engage women to help them to become empowered with training, etc., will be a big part of our work. a big part of the problem that women face in Jamaica as well is domestic violence, right? 30% of all women have experienced domestic violence. So also the work that we do in that space as well is going to be very important in helping men and women to have healthy relationships. Because dealing with domestic violence is not about making men wrong, but it's about working out how do we cause positive relationships between men and women. How do we help them to resolve the conflicts that will come up in any relationship in a way that does not require violence to become a part of the solution.
Okay.
So we're doing the work. We have been doing the work with we partnered with several agencies who are working in that area and did the Elevator Summit last year. We intend to do it again this year in November. Again, where we can help the agencies, because what we don't want to do is to try to replace the work that's being done already, but to augment and to help those who are already working to do the work that they are doing. Right? So, for example, in Jarrett Lane now, we are going to help. They have their their Long Mountain Parenting Club that will be doing a summer program with children and with their parents. So we're going to work on how to support them in that, for example. So we want to encourage where the community is already doing the work to help them to build it out and to be more effective.
Okay, that is good. That is good. So more or less in the constituency, how is the organization now? Because we know Eastern, as I say, Eastern is a very funny constituency. How is it now these days since you have been there?
Well, I find that the Eastern team is a very engaged team. That is the PNP team in Eastern. Very engaged and very united. I guess one of the good things is that I joined the constituency just the month of the local government election. So I was able to join as part of the campaign team supporting the two councillor candidates.
Right.
And so therefore, in that role, I was able to get to know and understand all of the party volunteers and to understand how the dynamics of how they work and to also pull the whole team together as one team. Oftentimes, sometimes divisions get divided. I am Papine, I am Mona, or I am whatever division.
Right.
But you have two divisions, and I find that we are working together as a unified team, supporting each other. And although the Mona division, we were not successful in the Mona division, we still feel very strong in our organization in both the Papine and Mona division. I have a very strong working relationship with the councillor Darrington Ferguson. Right.
Who is a regular here.
Yeah, he's a regular. Okay. Yes. So I find I feel good. I feel good about our team. I feel that we have a strong team working hard, doing the work, and everybody. We have a stellar constituency secretary.
Yes, I know. Camille works really hard.
Yes, really. It feels good to work with the team.
Excellent.
Really feels good.
Excellent. All right, now Eastern St. Andrew has, I think, the most universities. Right? We have the two major universities in Jamaica, right? UTEC. Yes. So what are the plans where the youth are concerned? Because even though we have the most universities, the most tertiary institutions, we also have a big problem with youth unemployment and just the youth getting into some serious problems.
Yeah. So while we have the most universities, we also have several communities where gangs operate.
Right.
And where criminal activity is at the forefront.
Yes.
And so a big part of that, I don't think anybody born and say, I want to be a criminal.
True.
I want to be a shotter. I want to be a scammer.
That's true.
But if you don't have options, and if you don't see where you can create a life for yourself and a positive life, you don't even have to be at the level of the major mega money. But you have to be able to see where you can be comfortable and you can shift the circumstance of your family, right? Before you can choose differently. And so we have to give those options. And this actually segues me very well into my portfolio, social transformation and social protection.
Okay.
Because as far as I'm concerned, my job is to create those help Jamaica to create the pathway to hope. Because it is hope, and I was just listening to a program the other day that speaks to the fact that hope is not a destination.
Okay.
It's a journey. It's a journey.
That's true.
So how do we create that space where people can feel hopeful and believe and know that they are able to direct their own destiny? Because the system and the government agencies are working with them and not working against them. That's a big part of the whole social transformation. So as I speak to that, I always tell everybody what we really need in Jamaica is an army of social workers.
That's true.
And not an army of soldiers. We have an army of social workers now. If we have our social workers in our school environment between the hours of 1 and 6 p.m. so our children stay in a safe space until our parents come home and in a guided space where they can relax, not to stay at school to do schoolwork, but to have a space where they can relax. That means you have to create that space in the school, right?
Right.
And then when they come home now, those social workers will work from 1 to 10, that they will go into the communities, or 1 to 9, 8 hours, into the communities and work with the families. So social workers work with families to help them to create their own pathway, because families will have different nuances, right? Some going to need help with mental health issues. Some going to need help with a pathway to university. Some going to need help with a pathway to earning. Different pathways that they need to find. And so therefore you get path being more effective, right? Because you're going to look at a whole family instead of looking at an individual. And then you can work out, okay, so in this family then we're going to start with the earning capability of the parents, or in this family we're going to start with the school funding, because the parents can't earn enough to buy the food, but they need to get to school or whatever it is. But in that regard, how do we then create the program that works with the family, where the families need help to create their pathway to hope? And then we will be able to give the government agencies who are providing the support now more information to work out what programs are really necessary and relevant, specific to communities or parishes, etc., depending on how common it is across the different geographic spaces. So you get to be more effective. So instead of just saying, we have a heart program for everybody, you'll know what kind of program you need for Augustown, and different from a program you need for Jarrett Lane, different from Standpipe, etc. So you are able to be more responsive in that regard and able to work through, because for example, in some communities you will have a higher level of university graduates than others, depending on what is occurring in that community at the time, whether it is that more scholarships were available in that community than in one other community. So therefore, how do you connect university graduates now with jobs? Might be what is required in that community, rather than in another community you're saying, okay, I have a lot of high school graduates who have done well in high school, but they just have no way to connect into either tertiary or work. What is that connection looking like? Indeed. So you can be a lot more effective in guiding and a lot more effective in designing your programs. Excellent. So that is when you look at the vision of social transformation. And then now you will also be able to do social protection, which is the other side of the equation, in a more effective way, because you really know now who is vulnerable and needs the help. So instead of trying to work out and do a needs assessment that is based on whether people have a fridge in them house or or TV.
Exactly.
Now you're really going to get a family history that you can work it through and really be more pointed with how you are using the resources that are available to you. For example, through the PATH program, through NIS, through NHF, etc.
Indeed, indeed. All right. Let's shift focus now to the women's movement.
Yeah.
All right. Since the passage of Hurricane Beryl, what has the women's movement been doing? I think you put me on pause, Comrade Pat. Comrade Pat, you put me on pause. All right, you're back. Okay.
Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah, man, that's all right. I was asking, what projects are is the women's movement currently working on to help women in the immediate aftermath of the hurricane?
Okay, so we don't have a project designed right now. What I did on Sunday, right, because first of all, we weren't even able to get in touch with all of our members.
Right.
Even up to Sunday. Sunday, I was able to finally find our rep from St. Elizabeth and Manchester, because we hadn't been able to be in touch with them. So we were still in the assessment phase. But at the same time, when I decided to go down to St. Elizabeth, because they were the most hard hit. Right? And Manchester, to kind of get an idea. I went with my family, and we carried with us some supplies, right? Because my intention was to go and hopefully find like either a shelter or a command center that would have been operating in a space, that we could leave the stuff there so it could get to the most needy. Unfortunately, because I went there and I booked up another lady from Westmoreland at the same time doing the same thing, found our rep, etc. But unfortunately, there's nothing set up.
Oh boy. So is the women's movement going to set up something?
No, well, I'm not sure that we can take that on, but one of the things that I am doing is calling for ADPEM to set up something. But what I did do was do the distribution and kind of get an idea of how has the response been, so that we can then work out how we can help with that response. So I have put out a call to the head of ADPEM. I have written an open letter to them to say, guys, we need to set up some command centers in these parishes and more at the community level, because the communication is so poor based on the fact that all of these poles are down, so we don't have the connectivity.
Right.
So we need to put people closer to them to be able to respond to them, as well as to be able to put in space some Starlink options for connectivity as well, so that we can then now better coordinate help in those areas. Because if I saw 10 houses in any space in St. Elizabeth, 7 did not have roofs. And I said the roof completely gone.
Wow.
Leaking holes. So the need is really great. So it can't be. So as women's movement, yes, we can do some packages and we can contribute.
Right, the packages, especially for the women and the young girls who have immediate needs. Health and right.
We wanted to go to the young mothers, but to be able to find them, because you can announce that, and we can do that, and we can help, and we will do that. But the most important thing is for us to encourage ADPEN and encourage the government to set up those centers so that we can be very coordinated in how we deliver this help in this space, because they are going to need help for a long time.
Right.
Because the amount of posts I saw down there, so
yeah.
I mean, I hear that them said that they won't get back light for 6 weeks. I don't know how long it will be, but I know that water, light, everything is going to be a problem. Food, listen, cash, they can't even get cash, right? Because some of the cash machines don't have light, etc.
Yes.
It is very difficult. So even if they can't use them card to buy nothing because nobody card machine.
Exactly.
And they can't get the cash to buy the groceries. So even if them have the money, them can't get the food.
But what about creating that network though with your various women's movement groups in the different constituencies those who you can communicate with anyway, who can reach out, and you gather supplies. Maybe as an organization you gather like baby food, sanitary napkins, like little care pack for the women, especially when there's no water. You know, maybe that you can use your women's movement network to get delivered.
Well, which is basically what we did. So we
Okay.
did that on Sunday, and we'll probably more than likely do more of that. We did some of that on Sunday,
Okay.
and we'll more than likely do more of that coming in the next few weeks. Right? As I said, having been in touch with them now, and so we're looking at it. We are actually discussing. We have our conference on July 21st.
Okay.
So we are right. So we are looking at in having our conference. Some persons are wondering if we should go ahead. So we're doing that assessment now, right? But I believe we should be able to. But we want to look at it in the context of would we be more effective in doing more in the hurricane relief rather than doing the conference? So we're looking at
You're looking
if we
at,
can
okay.
or do or just do the hurricane relief.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So you said the Women's Movement Conference so far is scheduled for July 21st?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And we have an exciting speaker. Her name is Heather Russell.
Okay.
She is a professor coming out of University of Florida, member of the
nice.
diaspora. And she actually wrote an article on the dual citizenship, her own experience. Her father was in England for some time. She was born in England, I think, and then they came to Jamaica, and then they went to the US. So her father being a Jamaican, but her growing up all over, but growing up in Jamaica for part of the time. So how connected she also feels to Jamaica. So also wanting to give back to Jamaica, being part of Jamaica's development. And so therefore she raises the whole issue of the diaspora contribution. How do we include the diaspora in what we are doing? That whole conversation. As well as she is a gender specialist as well.
Excellent.
And understands the rights of women and how it is that you advocate to have that gender equality and gender parity. And a big part of our advocacy here in Jamaica now as a women's movement is gender parity.
Right.
How do we make sure that women are at the table, all tables, at the table in the home, sharing equally with their partners, at the table in the boardroom, sharing equally with the men in the boardroom, and all along the spectrum, and in the politics. You know what I mean? How are we making sure, and what do we need to do to make that happen, and how can we support each other in making that happen? And on that note, I just want to big up our female council candidates who did so well.
Indeed.
And especially in the KSA-MC, where we have gender parity in our representation.
Right.
KSA-MC.
Excellent.
Because 10 men and 10 women representing the PNP. Very proud of that.
Yes.
And we are also proud that at this point we are at our 30% female candidates
Oh, nice.
for the general election, which was a target set by the party. And so we, whereas we put the party on at our last conference to say that we are pushing for gender parity in the politics and within the party, I must say that our leader and our Gen Set have been working with us with respect to that. And so it is like a partnership in how we get there.
Excellent, excellent. And I wanted to say that I noticed that the women in the party are very, very vocal. They're very involved. And I mean, they may be, especially with the female candidates, there might be only 30% of them, but they pack a powerful punch. Very powerful voices they have. So I'm hoping that there will end up being more female representatives, but it is basically something that we have to work towards.
Yes.
Right.
And also we also have to encourage. So as women, sometimes we have been used to taking a back seat.
Yes.
We're not used to pushing our voices forward.
That's
and a lot
right.
of times we get criticized if we talk loud. Oh, you talk so loud. Why
That
can't
was
you
my
speak?
next question to you. I wanted to ask you how using the women's movement, how do you encourage more women to come forward? Because as you said, women are so used to taking a back seat. They want to push it's how we're cultured, that women should be nurturers, take the back seat and elevate the men. So what role is the women's movement playing in changing that overall culture, especially in the party?
Yes, ma'am. So, for example, one of the things is one of the reasons why we're not sure about whether to postpone or not. So this conference, we are supposed to be having a private session.
Right.
4 sessions to help our women to be empowered. 1 session on public speaking.
Okay,
helping
very good.
to work out how to present, how to be brave, how to speak in your own voice, and not try to create a different voice, for example. A second session we were going to be having on how to manage in internal campaigns.
Right.
Because to become a part of the leadership of the party, you have to be able to manage an internal campaign.
That's right.
For yourself. Sometimes we are all so used to managing campaigns for others that we forget how to put ourselves as the candidate.
That's
and
true.
how to do it. The third one we wanted to have was one on financial empowerment. How to manage your own finances and to make yourself, because a big part of being in politics is that you have to be financially stable and able to do it.
That is true.
Because it really it does cost a bit, because whenever you are doing politics, you're going to buck up on the person who is in need, and you're going to have that amount of money you put down to give, as well as it's going to cost you to get yourself known out there as well, right? And I'm just trying to remember the fourth one. Now I know it is 4 different sessions, but I'm not remembering the fourth one.
That's
right
all right.
now it's gone out of my head. Advocacy.
Advocacy,
That was
okay.
How to create an advocacy program. So if you want to advocate for gender parity, how do you do that? You want to advocate for water in your community,
right.
How do you do that? What are some of the things that who do you engage? How do you engage? How do you get more people on board with you, for example? So those are the 4 training sessions that we'll be having that our members will be able to choose from to help them to become better leaders.
Okay,
in the
excellent.
party.
Excellent. I love to hear that. I love to hear that, because a lot of the issues that we have as females overall don't understand the power that we have within. You understand? So we find that women tend to try and put themselves in a box, in a shell, dumb down themselves. They don't want to shine. So I'm hoping that part of the role of the women's movement is to kind of draw women out of their shells.
Yes. And the truth is that there is and I'm calling it a myth, right? Where they speak to the fact that women don't support women. And I'm calling it a myth.
Yes.
Because sometimes we buy into that narrative, but
That's
it's
true.
not true. And so we are actively supporting our female leaders. So even in the last local government election, for example, as a women's movement,
right.
we made sure it was small, but we made a financial contribution to every female candidate
Excellent.
who ran in the local government. Now we also know that raising funds is difficult, right?
Yes.
But they must also know that we got their back. Whether they are direct members of the women's movement or not. Every woman who is in Jamaica must know that the PNP women's movement has their back. We got them. We will support you. We will push you forward. Yes, because that's who we are.
But how do you encourage the women in the party to join the women's movement, though? What I should ask is, what is your outreach process like?
All right. So outreach is done primarily through our vice presidents. That they at the divisional level they encourage the units to be formed. We have an individual membership program, but we have quite a few individual members, but we have not been good at encouraging more. So actually one of my targets this year is how to engage and have them become more active members so that we can have more members joining, not just as units, but also as individuals.
Okay, excellent. Because that is one issue that I find, that the recruiting, especially there are a lot of the party supporters are women, right? The PNP has always had a lot of females, especially the workers on the ground. It's about getting those women to not only be party workers, but to become members of the women's movement, even if they're in their various groups. That is something we probably need to clear the air, because a lot of these women believe that because they're already involved in their specific party groups, they can't be members of the women's movement.
Yes. And there's also, so that we're working that part through also with the party, because there was a resolution on the table around the membership.
Right.
If you remember the movement of the party, etc. And how do we resolve that? I think that is up for discussion as well, especially, so we haven't completed that conversation, and it's for all the affiliates. I think they are expanding the conversation.
Okay, so
how to manage that?
Okay, so if you're a member of the affiliate, you are not really a member of the party. Is that where it is now, or is that's where the gray area is?
And which is where we want to make it that it is not so.
Right.
That if you're a member of an affiliate, you're a member of the party.
Definitely.
So how do we make that right? So right now, our membership is at 4,000, just over 4,000, which is pretty big relative to I think the party is now at somewhere around 20,000.
Okay.
So it's significant. But we can do more, as you say, because a lot of the membership of the party are in fact women.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know
So
what I mean?
it's bridging the gap.
We can do more, but bridging the gap. But you know, Kamla, I really don't make this. So our membership will be the ones to do the work. But I don't make that distinction in terms of who we are working for.
Okay.
We are working for all of the women in the party and all of the women in Jamaica.
Indeed.
I'm very clear as a leader, because yes, I want more membership, and it will help me in terms of, because your memberships help you a bit with your funding, etc.
Yes.
But more importantly, I want more people, more women, to understand their power and to put themselves at the table.
Exactly.
And contribute.
There's somebody on YouTube that's asking about what the requirements for becoming a member of the PNP Women's Movement.
All right, so the requirements is that you actually need to be female and that you must be adult, over 18 years old, and yes, and you don't have to be on the voters list, to tell you that, in our constitution. But that's why we have to line it up to make sure that you are on the voters list, because to be a member of the party, you have to be on the voters list.
So since people don't have to be on the voters list, do you go out and recruit women, just ordinary women in the society who are not yet politically affiliated, to become members? Do you actually recruit women from just regular women from society who don't necessarily identify as PNP supporters?
We do, but we do that in the context of, we are very clear that when you become a part of the PNP Women's Movement, you must support the principles of the People's National Party. That's in our constitution.
Right.
So it's going to be very difficult to have a member of your women's movement who is not a PNP supporter.
Well, it's not,
because the fact what you sign up for, so you don't have to be a member of the PNP,
right,
and you don't have to be an active political political activist, but you can be a member of the PNP Women's Movement, understanding that the PNP Women's Movement is about empowering women in Jamaica in the context of the principles and objectives of the People's National Party.
Why I ask is because, you have, basically, as an affiliate, there's a lot of service that you can do, and sometimes it's these things that attract people to organizations through the service, so it can be a shoo-in for a lot of women who are impressed by the work.
A lot of our individual members come in that way, and so we have we have approximately, I think, 50 individual members now, and that's how they joined. And a big part of the work that we did with Elevate Her Summit, right, was that we pulled together other NGOs.
That is
seeing
right.
ourselves as an NGO. So we are partnering with other NGOs in the space of ending violence against women in Jamaica. So we had E for Life, for example, when in that partnership. So we were a partner in that.
Okay.
And so that way, we are, although we started the conversation, we are not the only persons in that conversation. And E for Life did a lot of the education about how does violence against women present itself, you know, in many different forms. There is financial abuse, there is verbal abuse, there is physical abuse, there is mental abuse, right? So it comes in many different forms. And it was actually a very good session. And we had different sessions, and we had the police there. We had the, in the form of Sissoko, we had CPFSA there. So it's a wider partnership than just PNP.
Right, right. And this is what I was trying to get to, because I mean, empowering women is so much more than politics. And if we can convince the ordinary Jamaican woman to aim higher, I mean, it's a way to attract people to our noble movement as well, you know?
Yes.
Through female empowerment. And I know, as the granddaughter of one of the founding founding women's movement members, that this is what the PNP stood for, especially in the beginning. The empowerment of women, and that was one of Michael Manley's visions at the time, you know. So yeah.
Who is your grandmother, Kamla?
Gloria Swire. She was
okay. I never know that, you know.
You didn't know that Giovanni Swire is my uncle? And that was like one of your father's closest friends.
Yes. I did not know this.
Yep, that is my mother's brother.
Look at that. See, now we're even closer than we think.
Exactly.
The more
I tell people all the time that my antecedents in the party, just because my mother is a Swire, you know, so I'm coming from a strong PNP line, you know. But as the granddaughter of one of the pioneer women's movement, you know, I have interest in seeing this movement do well. So very good, kudos to you on that, and we're looking for more. But
no, thank you.
Yes, so let us
move. And it's going to take a lot of work, you know. We are building. I know, and you have to build. Yes, indeed.
But now moving on to your portfolio now, the social transformation, social protection. Talk to me about that now, because that is a whole heap of words and big names. What is it exactly that you are shadowing?
Okay. So, you know, long ago you heard PJ talk about values and attitude.
Definitely.
Yes. Every day you hear people talking about, boy, our parents are not doing the right thing by their children, them not parenting properly, etc. The social fabric, the social construct in Jamaica needs to be transformed. The way that we relate to each other, the way that there is, so in social transformation, you're talking about your social relationships, you're talking about social mobility, meaning the ability for you to earn more and improve your life from generation to generation within a family. And you're then talking about social cohesion, right? So within a family, how you relate to each other, also how does the community work together? And then in that context as well, now you're talking about the social protection.
Right.
How does how is our society organized to protect our most vulnerable, our children, our elderly, our women, our mentally and physically challenged,
right. Disenfranchised individuals.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
You're most right, and it comes in many different forms and in different areas.
Mm-hmm.
So, if we do not reshape and redefine our society, we're going to continue to have the same results that we're having, right?
That
And
is
what
true.
we have now is we have a very violent society relative to most other societies, and one where social mobility is little or non-existent.
Right.
Where people, you'll hear people talk about, come and see my mother in a poverty and me in a poverty and me can't change my life.
Yes.
I feel stuck. That is what we are here to. How do we unstuck that? You understand?
So it's about a mindset transformation.
Mindset transformation as well as structural changes in our society. So like when you hear me talk about school and how you structure school and what school is doing and what occurs at school, that is part of social transformation, right? So, and when you talk about how it is that you so we talk about we're going to change the way that we earn our economic transformation. Without a social transformation and underpinning of the people, you can't connect them into that economic transformation. And then what you'll end up getting is that economic transformation occurring at the top, but not going right through your society.
Yes, that is true. And it's so funny that you call it social transformation, because our society is suffering from the side effects of capitalism.
Yes. And capitalism and plantocracy
and individualism
and all of that. Right. So now the question is, how do we continue to earn and allow for individual organizations to earn, but allow for a socially conscious society and allow for the social protection required? Right? So I don't think we are at a stage where we're talking about pure socialism or pure capitalism. But you're talking about a socially responsible society and economy that allows for everybody to progress. So a more inclusive and equitable society.
Right.
To create that, you also have to be able to, you have to bring the people along, right? Because the society and the economy doesn't work without the people.
Well, the people are the backbone of the society. That's the people are the country's greatest asset, So how do we get the society to realize that its people are its greatest assets?
Right. And so oftentimes we think about, so every time we start and everybody say, yeah man, education is the thing. And then we talk about education in the context of making sure you have enough subject, right?
Yes.
And I just heard, I was at Violet Nielsen's
her funeral.
Yes. And PJ was giving a tribute. And said the two were in primary school together, and their principal said, education is not about the 3 R's. It's about the development of the whole human being.
That is true.
So we have forgotten that is the purpose of school, right? Because school really is where you're going to shape now and begin your a major part of your transformation. But you can't do it in school only.
That's
true. You have to do it with your adults, and you have to do it with your when the children are born. But in the school, we have to create an environment where, yes, education must deliver on the subjects and the learning and the information, but it also has to deliver on the moral compass of our society. So we have to have the conversations about
how do we get back there though? Because I don't know. Jamaica's moral compass is just, I don't know, it's non-existent.
I would not agree with you. Is yours non-existent?
No, but then how?
Non-existent.
But then how many of us are like you and me? I mean, look at what happened, for instance, in the hurricane. You're in a hurricane and you have people in the street dancing on top of a police vehicle during a curfew in a hurricane where they're in danger and endangering their lives, their children's lives, their loved ones' lives. So sometimes, I mean, how do we... Listen, I felt hopeless when I saw that, honestly.
Okay. And so, and I guess that's why I'm taking on this thing, because I don't feel hopeless. Okay, here's the opportunity now.
Yeah.
Because here, Yes. Because, so they are doing that. If you believe that they are coming from a place where them just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's not coming from, I don't care. It is coming from a place of, I don't know or understand the danger that I am putting myself in. Because I believe, you know, at that age, and when you're young and thing, you know, you feel so you're invincible, you know, like nothing can't, no zinc not go fly your way, because you know, say, I only rain that come. You understand? So you show your invincibility, and you're just, so you can choose now how you look at that now. And then when you tap into what their positive is, you want to pull them back now and say, no. So you are a powerful human being, yes? You are an expressive human being, but now make us talk it through together. But if you don't engage, you can't shift that. And that engagement occurs in a space where they are captive, where they are in school, you are working with them, etc. Listen, every one of them movie you watch, right? With the transformation of the school, you get a principal who love the children.
That's
and
true.
No, so.
Yeah.
So
it starts with the principal being a good manager.
And see the good in Jamaicans. You understand? So if you go, for every bad side you see, there's a good side that you're going to look for it for. Right? But you have to be looking for it, and you have to also give them a way to channel it. Now, let me ask you, if those young people, and I want to ask you this, lived in a space that inside of their home, there was enough space for them to have that party, you think they would have chosen to have that party inside that home rather than outside on the road?
Probably. Yeah.
Might have. They might have. You see, what you take for granted as space. You know, I'm in my home, I have space, I can turn up my music loud.
Right.
When during the hurricane, I can turn on a generator if I need to during the hurricane. But they don't have that option.
Yeah.
And so how do you create that space where that energy, that expression can be channeled and become a positive expression than a negative expression? And that's the job.
Yeah.
You have to want to take on the job, and you have to believe in other people. You know?
That is
otherwise
true. You have to believe in them more than they believe in themselves.
Exactly. And you have to see the good in them, and you have to call to the good and make the good answer you. You understand? And it is possible. It is possible. Our people, listen, when I am in St. Elizabeth, those same people who might have been dancing up and down in Kingston, in St. Elizabeth, when they see the devastation that occurred and the reality, I see the youth them on the rooftop as nail on the roof and put on back a lady solar thing, and she makes police language. They are working together.
Yes.
Those are the same Jamaican people.
True.
Are the same people, you know? The good is in them.
That is true.
And we channel the good. And we forgive them the energy. And we forgive them the bus.
The
and we for bust them on the graphic artists. We for bust them on the drumming. And we for bust them on the music in the right way. Don't make them have to struggle when they make their music. We for set up the industry so when they make the music, they have a way to express themselves. So you have a Deborah Hicklin coming with the creative industries. So there is a real way for them to use that talent to make money.
That's
true. We for bust them.
We had Comrade Deborah speaking exactly about that last week, or she was on twice, speaking about the same topic of getting people in the creative industries to make money from their talent, you know. But
yeah, man. And we need more than Shelley and Fraser Price to make money off a track and field,
that's
right? Yeah, and you saying. So if we work out how to bust with people properly bust with people right? Then we're not gonna have the same level of challenge we have with what we call the quote-unquote moral fabric. But we also have to have the conversations about what we agree as right and wrong.
That's
right?
true.
And what we agree as appropriate or inappropriate. So even something like the age of consent.
Yes, a big argument, a very big argument
that we need to be having, because a lot of we have an acceptance in Jamaica of older men dealing with younger girls.
Yes, a troubling acceptance.
Yeah, I listened to some song when we were growing up with them. When we were growing up about how not in love with a man nearly twice my age.
I was about to call that one. I'm in love with a man nearly twice my age. Sometimes when you
and then the
think
other one
about
about
these
how
things.
the man go take the girl out of the yard, and not just our song them too, you know,
Yeah.
because some songs are foreign too.
True.
Right, and come for the picnic and ask him, tell the mother, say, oh, look how long you watch your daughter. Now she reach the age, me want her.
Grooming.
Mommy, I love your daughter. No gesturing. That song, that was what
Yes.
it was about. Okay? So, we have some cultural shifts that we need to take, but we need to understand why we need to make the shift, right?
Yes.
Not
But
making people wrong, but making them understand the negative impact of that.
I'm glad you bring up the cultural shift, because we also need to bring up the cultural shift of parenting and the introduction of violence by parents to children in terms of child abuse, about not just even physical abuse, because when people hear us speak about child abuse, they think about physical abuse. They don't think about the emotional abuse that some children go through, the verbal abuse, the emotion. I mean, I've in my profession, I've seen women talk to children the worst way, and some of them are not even aware of what they are creating when they do these things. So, I mean, how can we change the culture of introducing violence to our children at such a young age?
And so that, again, it becomes a conversation. So it is shifting somewhat, but, and it is because of exposure. But you see, we are not, so when we're doing social transformation, you're going to have to put your social workers on the ground having that conversation, but we're also going to have to flood our airwaves with the right messages, our social media and our general media. Let me give you an example. Remember when we did Two is Better Than Too Many? I know that you might be too young.
Excessive. I'm not young. And yes, I remember. I'm not. Listen, Auntie Pat, remember, say, I am a grandmother.
Okay, me and you together.
There you go.
Yeah, man. Anyway, so the point is, two is better than too many words, right? Because it came at people from many different angles.
Yeah.
You had the above the line campaign, you had the social workers on the ground, not making the people wrong, but explaining it to them, giving them the choices so people had agency in making up their minds. But it was a positive message.
Indeed it
no,
was.
We don't have enough positive messages about our Jamaican families and what we create. And we are not reinforcing the positive part of our Jamaican experience. We are instead focused on the parents do this, the parents do that, etc. Right? No, I agree with you. We have a bad cultural thing. Because I can remember one day I was up at Hope Zoo and a lady came up there with her baby son, maybe 3 years old. And the lion roared. This time the lion was alive. I think that lion dead now.
Yes, it died.
Yes. And the baby cried, a little boy. The mother tell him some clot.
Exactly. Hush up your mouth. Shut up your what's it now? Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes. But in talking to that mother, you can't say to her, oh, you rush the boy, so you have to say like, why you tell him that? And she will tell you, because I did have the conversation with her. He can't soft. Life is soft. How am I going to survive in this world? It's tough. So, we then have to have from, you want to protect your child, but what happens now when you tell him that? How will he feel? How will he react?
Exactly.
Will he sometimes? So you have a conversation that allows them to have the agency to choose differently, because they can see, listen, how much Jamaicans don't grow up with love?
Exactly. Exactly.
How many little boys, when I go to the school,
Exactly.
they want hug up. Why they want hug up? Them don't get enough hug
Because
up
they
at
don't
home.
get hug up at home. I've seen it.
Yes, but it's not because mothers don't want to hug them.
They don't know. They never experienced it either. So they don't know how to.
They don't want to. Them afraid to make them pick this off because them think life tough.
Oh boy.
So we have to make them know that to be hugged, to be gentle, does not make you soft.
Exactly.
It just makes you loving and makes you more pleasant to be around.
Exactly.
And makes you less likely to stab a man.
That's right. Makes you less angry. Maternal love has been shown to reduce anger, especially in boys.
And paternal, let's not forget paternal.
Well, that's true.
Let's not, because it's just parental love.
Yeah.
Because And you know what is one thing that's changing in Jamaica? More men are involved in their children's lives.
Yeah.
And as I tell the women all the time when we have these conversations,
We're on pause again, Comrade Pat. All right. Yes, you're off now.
Yes, I'm back. Sorry about that.
That's fine.
I have a timer on my TikTok to say I can't stay on TikTok more than an hour. For the day.
Oh, I see.
Yes, too much. I don't waste too much time. But
We've created an addict out of you, eh? Oh boy.
that's correct. Yeah, man. No, man. But so my thing is, in telling the mothers to remember that when you see a father as only a source of income for your child and not a source of love for your child and not a partner, you make it harder for him to partner with you.
That is true.
So some fathers are not going to be able to afford to contribute,
But they can give love.
but they can give love. They can give time. They can look after them after school and can help with the homework.
Exactly.
They can contribute
In other
different
ways.
other than financial.
Quite right. Quite right. Quite right. But again, as you say, it's a cultural shift because, I mean, women automatically assume once they get pregnant for a man, no matter what his circumstances, I mean, he have to be there financially, even if he doesn't have the means. And it's not just a Jamaican issue, it's a worldwide issue.
Yeah, man. But it's a big issue in Jamaica because we have to recognize our history of slavery, right?
Yes.
So the history of slavery made men sperm donors.
That's
because that's
true.
what they were in slavery. And so they were not, and if you pass that down from generation to generation, the inequality or
It's a generational
the
curse.
expectation of the man to be a part of the children's lives, then you don't get the nurture in the man being expressed. And there are men who are very good nurturers. My husband, excellent nurturer. You know?
And
He
yeah.
really has that personality, that character, that cares for people, etc. And a lot of men have this. And somebody saying in many cases we overlook mental health in many of these families.
That
it is
is
true.
true.
It is true. You know, so if we can create a space where government provides social workers who are partners with our families, instead of cussing our families to say, oh, they're not doing the right thing, but we are partnering to transform our society, to create the kind of society that we want, then we will create that transformation. And we first have to define that together, right?
Yeah.
We have to define what is that society that we want. We want a loving society. We want a caring society.
Indeed.
We want a society that allows for every individual to be able to fulfill their potential, to earn and support their families, and to live in a nice home.
Exactly. A proper roof over their head.
Yes, with a good roof over them head, then be able to buy food and not just subsistence living. So if we want to create that, if we know the outcome that we want for each family, then you can imagine if you get up in the morning and you see government as your partner.
Yes.
You know that there is a social worker I can call and say, listen, I'm thinking about this. Where do you think I can possibly get some help or guidance with getting this idea going? And you have somebody who can help you to work it through, and you have a partner until your families get stronger. Then you have created other kind of partnerships that you need. Because after a while, after your families get stronger and those partnerships, you need less of that kind of partnership to just
That is true. Because you have developed human capital.
That different kind of path. You know, the possibilities are endless for our country. Endless.
That is true. So, with your portfolio now, of course, there's a lot of cross linkages with different portfolios aside from education. I mean, we just spoke about culture. I mean, gender. There's so many. I think probably with your portfolio, you're more like a glue that will get everybody working together. Labor, national security, health in some areas.
Yes.
You know, so you...
And as I was saying, so you have health, you have education, national security in some cases. You have, as you said, labor.
Gender.
You have gender. You have the cultural and the economic. So it's really around how do you connect people into the services, housing.
Yes.
How do you connect families into the services that are available? It's a connection portfolio. So you connect them into the services as well as you help them to formulate the mindset and develop the mindset that allow them to be truly independent.
Interesting. And you know, when the PNP becomes the government, I would love to see your portfolio become an actual ministry, because I think it is well needed.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm pushing for it, and I am making my case, preparing my presentation, because as we are an organization where all ideas contend, right?
Exactly.
And so what I do know is that the path leader agreed with him because he gave me a portfolio, right?
Exactly.
He named the portfolio, and he put me in this position. So now it's for me now to make sure I'm sharing the ideas and putting forward the possibilities so that the whole team can see that vision and we can work it out together.
And I like that, because what the comrade leader has done with a lot of these portfolios, he has not really shadowed the ministries per se.
Correct.
What he has done, he has made it in a way that you all have to work together at some point, because some of you share ministers that you shadow, you know.
Yes.
So it has to create the interlinkages so you work more closely together. And I think that it's a brilliant strategy, you know.
I love it.
Yeah.
I do love it. And I commended him on it when he did for the grouping of the themes.
Yes.
And how we are, because the truth is that, remember, you know, so this is not about just opposing
Exactly.
what is being put forward by the government. This is about creating what Jamaica can have when we form government.
Exactly.
So there is an accountability role that we must play in holding government accountable for what they are doing now in the way that they have structured government. But there is a bigger role that we are playing in terms of creating the possibilities for Jamaica.
Indeed.
That pathway to hope for Jamaica. That's who we are. That's what the PNP is about.
Indeed. Cutting edge. Love this. Love this. All right. So when is the constituency conference in Eastern St. Andrew?
Okay, so we're not thinking about having a public session this year. We're thinking about taking that to the communities.
Okay.
So going to each of the communities, because at your public session in conference, who really comes there are your party workers and your party supporters. Right now, in this phase that we are in, we need to take PNP to the communities.
Okay.
Have that interaction within each of the communities and with those persons who are not just our die-hard supporters, but with the persons who we want to vote for us. Because an election is coming.
That is
They
true.
need to know what we are about. They need to know who we are as PNP in their community and what we are about and how we will serve them.
So you are planning interactions with the general public instead of having a constituency public session?
Correct. So
Okay.
we will have our private session and do our elections and do our reports, etc. And then be doing several interactions across the constituency.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I look forward to hearing more about these.
Yeah, man, you will be kept informed as one of the members of our constituency.
That's what them don't know, you know, because you know what, the green people have it all over the place that I'm not a member of the PNP, so. All right, but thank you.
I can vouch for you. I can vouch for you, Kamla.
I thank you. Thank you. But I want to thank you for joining us. You know, it's a very interesting conversation, and I think it's something that we need to speak more about. You know, I really enjoyed this conversation. This is one of the deepest conversations we've had on this platform in terms of looking underneath it all where Jamaica is concerned, not just on the level of the women, but just on social transformation. Yeah, I think it's brilliant, you know. So keep up the good work. I look forward to hearing.
Forward to having more conversations.
Definitely.
Build out our ideas. I hope I can come and share some of it so I can get some feedback.
Definitely. You're welcome anytime. Now that we know that you are on TikTok, please, viewers on TikTok, follow Comrade Patricia. It's Pat Sutherland JA.
I'm a stalker. I don't do anything yet. So don't follow me.
That's fine. Don't worry. We still have to follow you and build up your platform so that once you are ready to speak, your message will be loud and clear. That's what we need. Yeah. So we're going to follow up the page.
All right,
thank you so much for joining us.
Some work on using the page more and using the platform.
All right, Comrade Pat. Take care.
All right, good.
Okay,
thank
bye-bye.
you. Bye all.
Okay. All right, people, I hope you enjoyed that interview. You know, I noticed that whenever we have heavy conversations, the viewership go down. I realize that a lot of Jamaicans don't like the heavy conversations. We like to keep it light, and we like to keep it airy, and we need to keep it at a certain level. But sometimes we need to go deep. Sometimes we need that deep dive. You understand? Yes, exactly, life. Them love the surface level conversation. Even when we're doing the programs where we go deeply into the history of the PNP, and we go deep into the education, we realize that the numbers go down. People love the mix up. But here one now. After a deep conversation like that, it's time for the mix up. So, wanna share up the live, tap up the screen. Comrade, you walk on. Share up the live, tap up the screen. After that heavy conversation, listen, let me tell you something. You see that portfolio? Yes, Natalie, them love the mix up and the bangarang. But you see that portfolio there? It is going to be very instrumental in bringing about change to Jamaica. Yes, Jemuel, we gave feedback about Sulfa at the beginning of the live. Sulfa is not in lockup. He did a video. He came on and he explained that he did indeed go to court, right? And what he did when he ended up going to court is that he put on the video, which he normally does, but then it was hurricane, light gone, and of course he couldn't take back down the video, so he did not get to go to court. The court was postponed because of the hurricane. He was supposed to go to court the same day. Did what he did. He does it every time he goes to court. He says he puts that video on standby because really and truly he doesn't know when they are going to lock him down. So what happened now, because of the hurricane and light gone and everything, him couldn't take the video off auto share. So that is what happened. But he is safe, he's okay. His court date has been postponed to another time. Him good. There is a video on his page. So make we just support the young youth. I mean, as I say, Sulfa is somebody that you have to listen to him to understand the depth of his meditation. You understand? He's a brilliant young man. Let me put it out there again. The child is not a comrade. He's not political. He's just doing what is right and true. But we have only a bangarang for talk, you know. Well, you know, sister, the labor right them claim say the illicit 6 doesn't exist. So last year, most of you would have known that the illicit 6 was the illicit 6 was basically purported by the, what you call it now, the Integrity Commission, them people there, right? So they say that they have 6 people for illicit enrichment, 6 parliamentarians. That's what they said. Because the labor rights are acting like PNP made this up. But it's not PNP that says so. It's not PNP that says so. It's the Integrity Commission that says so. So now, comrades, apparently, the Integrity Commission has somehow resolved 4 of these cases. And it's no longer 6, it's 2, but we still want to know who the 2 is. But the labor rights they are celebrating as if this is some sort of achievement, because they don't understand that there are still 2 people who are... No, it's not 13 illicit in the parliament. You have others who are not in parliament. You understand? But 4 of them fix up them thing and clean up them name. But you see, let me tell you something. You never see smoke without fire. They are trying to sanitize ANJU wholeness. This is what it is about, comrades. They are trying to sanitize ANJU wholeness. We soon go back to TUFTON, you know. Because we have to go back to TUFTON. Listen to me. I never see somebody have so much appearance in the Gleaner. It's 4 article Gleaner put out about Prime Minister since evening. PR turn right up. I don't know if them think so them can save this man. They can PR him. I tell you already now about the dead product. I tell you all the time about the dead product, comrades, and about resuscitating a dead product. It is easier to launch a new product and build a new product from scratch than to resuscitate a product that has basically outlived its useful life. And ANJU Wholeness is that politician who has outlived this shelf life as a politician. And this is what they don't understand. And any good marketer will see this. You cannot ANJU Wholeness don't have no more repackaging. The people have already seen ANJU Wholeness for exactly who he is and exactly what he is. So no amount of PR is going to change the perception of the ordinary Jamaican people. You might be able to silence them because that's where it gets to know. You can buy the media, but you can't buy each individual who is going to come on social media. The next thing you're going to hear is that they're going to try and ban some of these social media apps. You want to say it? When they realize that they cannot silence the people, they are going to try and block the social media platforms like TikTok. You know, like what Biden was trying to do. Them going to try to do something like that. Him going to realize that he cannot silence everybody. So because him can't silence everybody, he is going to try and do something else, like block the app so that Jamaicans don't have access. I don't put it past him. Because his team realizes that he is a very hard sell. And don't get me wrong, you know, TUFTON is not a better sell, you know. You understand? Yes, Carol, I'm glad you sent me this. I heard it. I plan to play it. That is where we are segueing into. That is exactly what we are segueing into. Because we are going to play this. They are trying to sanitize ANJU Wholeness. And of course, you know, who is trying to sanitize him? None other than Nationwide News Network. So today, Nationwide News Network had up the Prime Minister now, talking about his statutory declarations. So they are trying to find a way now to get him out of this statutory declarations thing. So he was on... I listened, you know, and it never sounded like him even believe himself. You be the judge. We're going to play a snippet of the interview, and you be the judge, because Andrew never sounded like him even believe himself. So I could play it, so you can hear for yourself.
The It's an outstanding matter, Prime Minister. We know you have to leave us soon. The people of Jamaica have been asking the questions. When last I spoke to you in February, I put the question to you about your statutory declarations. You told me that you had written to the Integrity Commission and you were awaiting a further response from them. Have you had that response? And what was the response?
To me, I've written back to them. They have written to me. I've written back to them, and it is still a matter for the Integrity Commission. Like you, I too am anxious to have this matter resolved.
But what is the nature of the issue that you keep having to respond about?
Well, the general issue of the Integrity Commission is that they do an entire audit on your financials and your personal finances, and for me, going back several years. And that takes time because it is just not my response alone that they have to await. They have to await the responses of several other agencies, entities. It's a very detailed process. And I don't want to comment on it too much because the nature of
him don't want to comment because him don't know how them scrubbing.
The Integrity Commission is the entity that really should give the final disclosure and approval. So I humbly await the Integrity Commission's
But
response.
aren't you worried that you're bleeding political capital over this issue while they are silent on it?
Well, you know, it's one of those things you deal with politically. As I said, it is the process, and I have followed the process as best as I can, and I can only await the Integrity Commission. I am in an invidious position because I am the one that has to ensure that the law is respected, and therefore you will never hear me make any complaint. Even if I feel it has been unfair and unduly so to me, you will never hear me complain.
Today we're waxing my client with PCOS.
It done. The man say it's unduly unfair to him, and you will never hear him complaining. Exactly, silver looking number one. The man take with the idiot. We look like one big set of coffee to them. Yeah man, we look like one big set of coffee. Cause we born big and we are menke. So all of a sudden, 3 years later, I remember I said this going on from 2021, you know. 3 years later. But I'm gonna tell you what happened. Wanna work with me now. All along, the Prime Minister did not respect the Integrity Commission. So he refused to cooperate. Wanna work with me now, follow me. He refused to cooperate because he had no respect for them or what they did or the position. But when him realized that the people them serious and Jamaican people militant, and this was always going to be like a sore spot out of him head, him realized that him have to deal with it one way or other. ANJU almost closed down him company in St. Lucia, you know. How much I did know that? How many of you know that he closed down his company in St. Lucia? We discussed it on this program already, you know. The man makes sure to tie up all of the loose ends before he did not have enough respect for them because him feels a boy. Oh, I am the Prime Minister, you can't talk to me. But he, thank you Hugh Richards, him trying to convince himself. But him realize now that Jamaican people not looking at him because they realize he has no integrity. So now the labor rights going on and on and on, bragging and boasting. So remember now, you know, if the Prime Minister needs to clear his integrity, him need to get it certified. It's both him and his wife own, you know, and his wife is a parliamentarian too. So him have to clear up the two of them own, because even though they are each parliamentarians on their own, the Integrity Commission is going to look at them married. Yes, he dissolved ADMAT in 2021, Pastor Ricky. He dissolved ADMAT. But so what they have to do, they have to work together to clear up them name. Them have to work together to find a way to get Integrity Commission off of them back. And you following me? What's up, Comrade Julian Chang? How are you? How things down here in now? So because of this, comrades, you never see smoke without fire. This is why you're hearing that there is no longer 6, there are 2. You see, if you can logically deduce, you know, and the Prime Minister and his wife are 2 parliamentarians, that is 2 of them that have come out of the 6, the original illicit 6. So now we can deduce that Andrew Holness and his wife Juliet Holness were indeed members of the illicit 6. Them things that were stupid, you know. Them things that were born big. But if he is talking, if this man now is saying that they will speak on his declaration soon, that means that they have somehow found some sort of a resolution. Don't you agree? Yes. They have found some sort of a resolution. So because they have found some sort of resolution, the number drop. We just need to find out the other 2 will drop off. Good, thanks. You're still trying to get electricity here. That will take some time. That is gonna it's gonna take some time. I'm happy that things are getting better for you down there. Exactly, unfriendly. We're watching the numbers. Them things that we're born big. We can now logically deduce that the Prime Minister and his wife were originally members of the illicit 6. And now that they have gone out of their way to fix it, do whatever they need to do, the Integrity Commission can now come and say, okay, we have this, and the number dropped from 6 to 2. The labor rights are running up and down, that the illicit 6 don't exist. Yes, the illicit 6 did exist. But some of those who were part of the illicit 6, who knew who they were, but them couldn't talk because the Prime Minister put them on gag order. Remember that, you know. The Prime Minister put them on gag order, so the one them who wasn't a part of it couldn't talk and say, yes, we are not, we're not in this, you know, we don't hear from them. So they had to protect the 6. While the 6 worked to clear them name. Remember, the commission said they are being investigated for illicit enrichment. So who are the other 2 that the commission has not been able to clear as yet? And will we know how the matter was resolved? Will we know how it was resolved? Is it who were the original 6? What them said never exists. Listen, Integrity Commission never said they didn't exist. They said the number dropped from 6 to 2. You never see smoke without fire, so the facts say why. Them come out and you see how quick and fast Andrew him come out. You see how quick and fast. You see how quick and fast Andrew him reach pan NNN. Wanna see it? Wanna see how quick and fast Andrew reach out. Ready to talk about it now. And he would not speak about it for how long? How long this been going on and Andrew won't address it? Wanna talk to me there? How long has this been going on and the Prime Minister has refused to address it? Talk to me. That me want to know. It's been going on for years. They say that he has not made any declarations, certified any declarations from 2021. Steve Gabnan, the IC can only do what it can do, you know. I would never attack the IC and say that I've lost confidence in it, because at the end of the day, they have a mandate, you know. Them have their own mandate. And their mandate is apolitical. If you don't comply, we're going to say you don't comply. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. So if you suddenly decide to comply, they just have to report that yes, you are now compliant. There is nothing else they can do. So it is unfair really for you to blame them, because really and truly, it's not their fault. You understand? It's just that all along, ANJU Holness take them for idiot. You understand? He did not respect them enough. You don't realize is that happen? To put in the information, because why? ANJU Holness believed that he was untouchable. But when him realized that the Jamaican people, they militant about it, and everybody talking, that is what they're talking about. That is when ANJU decides, say, well, I'm going to have to resolve this, and that is what public pressure does. Because now he will have to be held to a higher standard. So make it little termite them go and gloat as much as them want. The damage has already been done. What I am interested in seeing is if these termites are going to dare to blame the Integrity Commission for all of this. That's what I want to see. Because I see it already. I see it already. I see them out there. Oh, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. The illicit 6 doesn't exist. No, boo-boo. That's not what they said. That's not what they said. They said it's no longer 6, it's now 2. It's not that they didn't exist. It's just that some of them have made the efforts to clear their name and their reputation. Right? They have basically put forward means to explain their enrichment. That's what it boiled down to, you know. They have found a way to explain their enrichment. It's not that they weren't, it's not a situation that they weren't charged or they weren't being investigated. No, the investigation for a lot of them is complete. And as I say, by logical deduction, yes man baby, that is exactly it. You're right. Tenancy, poil no dance. Tenancy, poil no dance. There is something that I want to talk about that we had begun to talk about. We were reading Dr. Michael Abrams' article. We were reading Dr. Michael Abrams' article today, where he rebuffed Christopher TUFTON again. Ah boy, I want to know if Christopher TUFTON have no shame. Beryl blew away 4 of them. You have a right to say that. I want to know if Christopher TUFTON, him no shame. And that I want to know. Because God, this man, him not tired. Isn't he tired? There is something I'm looking for on my YouTube that I'm not seeing. Anyway, make we move on. We're going to talk about TUFTON now. Let us talk about TUFTON. We're going to read this article. Wait a second here. Order, move to top. Alright, and give me a second. Let me try set this something so you can see it properly, right? So just bear with me a little bit there. Make I find back this article cover. Why Tufton him ever get buff? Him ever get buff? Me don't want, I don't understand how one man can so shameless. Literally shameless. All right. Order. All right, we ready now. Make we jump in it now. So me have the glasses and won't put it on, and then me I squint. All right, come now. We talk about this now. So Michael, remember last week we were discussing TUFTON, right? Remember he wrote a letter to the editor. Make we go through the timeline. First and foremost, Michael Abrams and Dr. Michael Abrams, a well-renowned, respected veteran in the medical field who is an obstetrician and gynecologist for many, many years, wrote an article in the Gleaner calling out the Minister of Health and Wellness. Another doctor who also has a wealth of experience in medicine as a general practitioner, Dr. Garth Rattray, who is a regular contributor to the Gleaner, also called out TUFTON. Then TUFTON come on the town hall and we mash him up. So TUFTON went on, you see, when these sociopathic narcissists are attacked, they go into defense mode. And when them go into defense mode, them start chat foolishness. So him now, the big minister, write letter to editor and call Dr. TUFTON and Dr. Rattray, two medical doctors with years of experience in healthcare. Him almost call them liar. Yes, Dr. Abrams has been a doctor for over 30 years. Dr. Abrams graduated from medical school in the 90s. Right? Christopher TUFTON, even though he wants to call himself Dr. TUFTON, is not a doctor. He's not a doctor. Not a doctor. So Dr. Michael Abrams has over 30 years experience and Dr. Garth Rattray have over 45 years of experience. That's what it boiled down to. So now I'm going to read Dr. Abrams' article. You need to hear this clap back. You share up the live because you need to hear the clap back yet. So Dr. Michael Abrams wrote an article titled No Minister on July 1 in this newspaper in a letter to the editor titled, I am equally disappointed Drs. Rattray and Abrams. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher TUFTON responded to recent articles written by me and my colleague Dr. Garth Rattray in which we expressed dissatisfaction with the state of our health sector and his management of it. In the minister's response, he claimed that less than thorough analysis, half-truths, and anecdotes have been allowed to be portrayed as facts. You hear what the man say? Remember now we know. He is going against the words of doctors, actual medical doctors who work in healthcare for many, many decades. Wagwan Maurice? No. He claimed that less than thorough analysis, half-truths, and anecdotes have been allowed to be portrayed as facts, referred to serious and faulty allegations, and expressed his difficulty in separating the politics from the policies. He also referred to egregious misrepresentation in my piece, more so my article. Unfortunately, I find that Dr. TUFTON's pronouncements to be not only dismissive, condescending, and arrogant, but also disingenuous. I tell you a long time, so this man is a sociopath. Proper sociopath. But we're going to talk some more. We're going to talk some more. I fact-checked everything I wrote in my story. I challenged the minister or anyone else to point out my inaccuracies in the article. For instance, it is a fact that the Auditor General has repeatedly flagged his ministry. And he quotes an article here, the lead story being, he actually put the link to the article, right? Look at this. Gleaner, what am I telling you about Gleaner? Gleaner removed the article. The Gleaner has removed the article. Remember what we were talking about today? You hear what I say? Gleaner removed the article. The article was there this morning, you know. The article was there this morning. I read it this morning, opened the links. The Gleaner has removed the article. I've been telling you all along that the Gleaner is complicit. When I read Dr. TUFTON's article this morning, this link worked. The link no longer works. Page not found. Page not found. This is funny. But let us continue. Let us read the article. Dr. TUFTON dismissed this concern, saying that the appropriations accounts have been delayed due to incomplete information and systems failures affecting multiple ministries. This is a flimsy excuse. A system failure cannot be reasonably blamed for the ministry awarding contracts without putting them out to tender and not following procurement procedures. And there is evidence of these wrongdoings. You know, Dr. The Gleaner, Dr. Abrams quoted a lot of articles and put a lot of links in this, and I'm going to go through and see if the link them stop work. According to Dr. TUFTON, my most egregious infraction was my conclusion around Archer's funeral home. However, I failed to see any infraction on my part. It is a fact that the contract to collect bodies from KPH was awarded to Archer's funeral home in Spanish Town, and that it is owned by a councillor in a division in Dr. TUFTON's constituency, and I express discomfort with that. Health is defined as physical, mental, and social well-being. The bodies removed from the KPH are lifeless, but the loved ones they leave behind are living beings. They are grieving. Many are impoverished and struggle even to find funeral costs. And sending them 18 miles away from the hospital to look around about the remains of their loved ones has the potential to add to their stress and affect various aspects of their well-being. Decisions made by the Ministry of Health and Wellness should aim to make people's lives easier, not harder. Last time I checked, over 30 funeral homes listed in Kingston and St. Andrew were listed in Kingston and St. Andrew. If the minister genuinely cared about the well-being of the poor and vulnerable, other arrangements would have been made. The ministry is flexible when it wants to be. After all, they awarded contracts without putting them out to tender, such as the one granted to Market Me for Jamaica Moves. There is another link. We're going to click this and see if it works. Rotted. Page not found. This is so real. Page not found. The second link in Dr. Abrams' article also does not work. I hope you're not listening to what I'm saying here. The links that Dr. Abrams put that I clicked on this morning and were there and were working are no longer working. I hope you see what you are. I hope you see what we are up against. They're Jamaicans. I hope you see what we are up against. I hope you see how complicit. You know, I refuse to believe this, and I'm going to try again. This must be some mistake. It must. I hope this is an error. I hope this is an error. I am going to go on Gleaner and see if Dr. Abrams' article is on the Gleaner. The last time he wrote, the article was not posted on the Gleaner. Right? So I am going to check. I'm looking for his article. I'm looking to see if his article is on the page of the Gleaner on the social. Here the article is. I'm going to open this link now and see if the links in the article read. They are there. I'm going to click on the links because this is surreal. Here is the first link. Clicking on the link. Okay, the link works. So it's probably, no, it is there on this. So my apologies to the Gleaner because something must have been wrong. So the first article, I'm glad because it would have been so obvious. The first article, Tardy accounts block assessment of 700 billion spent by ministry. That's the first article. We're going to the second article now. So remember everything that Dr. Abrahams wrote about, him put it there. I just want to see. Because again, if they were removed, I don't know why it is not working on the phone in terms of the WhatsApp, but it is working on the Gleaner site itself. So the second article, which was by RGR. Here we go. The second article. I'm waiting for it to load. I just want to understand, you know. I want to understand how wicked this damn man is. How wicked this man is. Not the normal. Okay, so see the second article here. Not the normal process. So you can see it. No. PS concedes regarding to market me contracts. It's there in black and white. Boy, win some may I try to make you see it, but the article is there. Right? It is there. Not the normal contracts. Okay. So that is 2 link. Alright. So make we continue with the article now. Regarding Cornwall Regional Hospital, the minister said, I clearly demonstrated limited understanding between rescoping a project and cost overrun. At no point did I refer to an overrun. I said the budget skyrocketed from $2 billion to over $21 billion and that the project remained unfinished. And those are factual statements. Here we go again. He has another link. Clicking on that link. Timeline for Cornwall Regional Restoration. This one behind a plain paywall. Right? So everything, this one now, you see the timeline. So below is the timeline of events which sparked the restoration work at the 10-story 400 bed facility. So September 2016, concern arose about noxious fumes from the hospital's building's ventilation system, resulting in accident and emergency department being vacated. February 2017, concern about the fumes arose again in the hospital, resulting in several departments from the building's first 3 floors being evacuated. Investigations by the Ministry of Health and the PAHO subsequently revealed that the fiberglass particles from the ventilation system were caused because of the fumes. In May 7, 2017, Dr. Ken Garfield Douglas, the regional director of the Western Regional Health Authority at the time, announced the hospital's 4th, 5th, 6th floors, which housed the intensive care unit and the operating theaters, were to be refurbished and cleaned in order to be reoccupied by May 30th. He also announced that the overall restoration work was estimated for completion September 2018. What year are we in now? September 2018. So all of this started from 2016. So what is Dr. TUFTON talking about? On the other hand, misinforming a woman about a joke, I can't say it, as he did, including telling her that there were no deaths associated with it, when there were, in an attempt to coerce her into taking it, is dishonest behavior unbecoming of someone charged with managing health. Again, he has...
Which one of the vaccines are the best?
Oi, me can't play that. Boy, the video is there. You see me nearly get myself in trouble. Last time, remember, I said them take down the video, We can't play that one. But the man did do it. The video is there. The link is there. His stubborn refusal to answer a question raised in Parliament about when he first heard about the bacterial outbreak that unalived 9 babies is also unacceptable. There is a video again. Another video. This time the man put in the whole video. We can't watch that. The man put in the link to everything. Right? No mash up TUFTON. TUFTON get a rotted boop in him head. Him get a rotted boop in him head. The man put everything. Jemuel is saying, let me tell you, if I have a dead and him do that, him have to bring back and listen. Let me tell you something. This man is evil. He's an evil man. And there is no 2 ways about it. And the U.S. travel advisory cautioning Americans about visiting our country because of our substandard health system is a damning indictment on the management of our health sector. Him give him a rotted radam, man. Rotted radam him get. And the travel advisory is there. And let me read the travel advisory. A lot of people don't know what the travel advisory said, So we're going to read the travel advisory for you. Because why? TUFTON told a blatant lie on the Wayne Lonesome program that I was on. Right? Jamaica Travel Advisory issued January 23rd, 2024. Jamaica, level 3, reconsider travel. Last update, reissued with updates to crime and health information. Reconsider travel to Jamaica due to crime and medical services. Well, listen carefully. Reconsider travel to Jamaica due to crime and what? Medical services. U.S. government personnel under the Chief of Mission Security Responsibility are prohibited from traveling to many areas due to increased risk. Please read the entire travel advisory. Country summary. Violent crimes such as home invasions, armed robberies, sexual assault, and homicides are common. Sexual assaults occur frequently, including at all-inclusive resorts. Local police often do not respond effectively to serious criminal incidents. When arrests are made, cases are infrequently prosecuted to a conclusive sentence. Families of U.S. citizens killed in accidents or homicides frequently wait a year or more for final death certificates to be issued by Jamaican authorities. The homicide rate reported by the government of Jamaica has for several years been among the highest in the Western Hemisphere, or in the world indeed. U.S. government personnel under the Chief of Mission Security Responsibility are prohibited from traveling to the areas listed below, from using public buses, and from driving outside of prescribed areas in Kingston at night. Listen to this now, you know. See this clincher here now? Emergency services and hospital care vary throughout the island, and response time and quality of care vary from U.S. standards. Public hospitals are under-resourced and cannot always provide high-level or specialized care. This is not any Jamaican saying this. This is the U.S. authorities, comrades. This is the U.S. authorities saying these things. Private hospitals require payment upfront before admitting patients and may not have the ability to provide specialized care. So remember, I know them say the public hospital cannot provide specialized care and the private hospital cannot provide specialized care. So who the hell in Jamaica can provide specialized care? That is what the U.S. Embassy is saying. The U.S. government is saying that Jamaica cannot provide specialized health care. What a sad day. It is sad. Ambulance service are not always readily available, especially in rural areas, and are not always staffed by trained personnel. We strongly encourage you to obtain travelers insurance, including medical evacuation insurance, before traveling to Jamaica. So Dr. TUFTON needs to understand that no Jamaican said this. The U.S. government did. Dr. TUFTON dismissed this concern, saying that the appropriations accounts... No, we passed this already. We passed this one. As for our maternity, thank you, Yellow. Thank you, Yellow. As for our maternal mortality rate, I am deeply concerned. Remember now, you know, Dr. Abrams is an OBGYN. He's an obstetrician and gynecologist. Him deliver babies for a living. Alright? So who you want to listen to? Him or a man who have no clue about healthcare? For a pregnant or recently delivered woman in 2022, when the rate was 156.7 per 100,000 live births, to be at greater risk of dying than in the 1980s when I was in medical school is alarming. In the country's southern region, the rate had increased from 26.8 in 2017 to 273 in 2022. In other words, a pregnant or recently delivered woman in this part of the country in 2022 was 10 times more likely to die than 5 years before. And we cannot blame C19 for this. Not only was it not a significant contributing factor in 2022, but the rate was even higher in 2019 at 163.5. And in 2019, there was no such thing as C19. The second highest on record this century, and the first case of C19 in Jamaica was not documented until March the following year. So I could see what TUFTON I go say. And him give the link for that too. What is most disconcerting is Dr. TUFTON's remark about his difficulty in separating the politics from the policies. During the last People's National Party administration, I publicly expressed a lack of confidence in Health Minister Fenton Ferguson during his tenure. Remember, Sir Michael Abrams was one of those vocally who called for him to be removed, you know. No, remember? Okay. I just want to remind you. I felt so strongly about the matter that I wrote an article titled Fire Fenton, published in the Gleaner on November 1, 2015. In fact, during the C-19 pandemic, when the PNP was criticizing his management of the crisis, I defended Dr. Tufton and made a post on my social media that comparing Christopher Tufton to Fenton Ferguson is like comparing Superman to SpongeBob. Well, I know say Dr. Abrams near me word them now. I know him near me word them now. Because him live to see say Tufton is worse. We all have the right to express concern about the state of our health sector and its management, irrespective of which party is in power. It is unfortunate that the minister who chose to trivialize, dismiss, and politicize legitimate concerns expressed by Dr. Rattray and me, two physicians with 78 years of experience between us, instead of counterpunching, deflecting, grandstanding, and embarking on a public relations tour, complete with testimonials from satisfied patients at public hospitals, to convince Jamaicans that he's doing a great job and that things are not that bad. It would be in the best interest of the nation for the minister to humble himself and seriously consider the issues raised by me and my colleague. Get a boop in him head, man. Him get a big fat boop in him head. Him supposed to shame. Him supposed to shame. Me, I want to see if him really going to have the audacity to respond to this. Because that is what me notice with him, you know. When he is being attacked, him go on the defensive. Him go on the defensive. He's a real narcissistic sociopath who believes that he is above criticism, he's above reproach. And nobody not supposed to say nothing to him. And you cannot convince him that he is clueless when it comes on to health care. And it sink him. Listen. It sink him right down. It sink him right down, and him is the next one who cannot rescue himself. Him have no rescue himself. It is funny. Thank you, Shari. Thank you there. Natalie is saying that him love to be wrong and strong. But the thing about it, I keep on saying, and I will never stop saying this. To be a health minister, the best thing for you is to be a healthcare professional. I'm not take back my chat. Because the people who understand the intricacies of the medical community understand better. They are better able to cope. This man is clueless. Him take the crack, them can't take him and turn him in a big idiot. Because him clueless and them clueless. Real one set, what the whole of them is one set of clueless, Betty. Real clueless. Now, today, I noticed that there were 4 articles in the Gleaner about the Prime Minister. 4. All of 4. They managed to give Comrade Leader a token. It looked like so them did a listen to it last night. I cussed them off. So they managed to put in something about his coverage of the Sandy Gully. Just a very brief thing. But it looked like so them here we. It's 4 different articles them published today in the Gleaner about ANJU. About dirty ANJU. So after Comrade Leader called for the army to be deployed. Want to remember that? And remember how these demons literally laughed? Well, no. Look what is happening. And look there. Make I bring it up. Make I bring it up over YouTube to so you can see it and have a laugh. Because I swear to God, said this man is some sick delusion. Some sick delusion. So it says JDF DART team to be deployed in hurricane ravaged communities. Why it takes so long for the JDF to be deployed? This is what happens when you take yourself and put yourself in charge of every damn thing. You don't understand how to manage an emergency. So if Mark Golden never said where is the JDF, remember, you know, Mark Golden called for the JDF. Mark Golden called for the JDF. But don't worry, the media, them never cover it. Them never post it. But Mark Golden said that the JDF should have been deployed. And he said it from day before yesterday. All of a sudden, no. This year, 1 year, no. Prime Minister says JDF Disaster Assistance Relief Team will be deployed to communities with extensive damage to homes. Why never deploy them from Thursday or Friday? I don't know. Today or all the way or Tuesday. So why it take him so long? Why is it that Comrade Leader Mark Golden did have to ask about the JDF before ANJU decides I'm going to deploy the JDF? I don't know. Wanna understand where I'm coming from with this? He says they will help with reconstruction in Rocky Point, Courtland, College, Clarendon, Negril, and over St. Elizabeth and Manchester. The JDF should have been deployed before anybody else. They should have been out there clearing roads so that the JPS could access them. Should be helping the JPS to put up poles and downed wires. But no. I'm telling you all the time, say this man is not very smart. It's like when Mark Golden bring it up. Oh yes, I could have done that. No. Yes, man. It's who this tag me now. Let me get one video. Let me listen to it. I can't. Let me hear this. My live. Okay, so this is TVJ News, right? This is TVJ News. ANJU all over the place. And the media is busy sanitizing ANJU image. But but the people them don't want to see ANJU. Wanna listen to the man again. Listen to the man again. The man was about to say, if you look on the video, the man looked like he was about to say the one dirty ANJU. And it's like him remember saying the on TV, so him said the one ANJU oldest. He realized him have a little itch in him voice. Him face make up with the D like him was about to say dirty ANJU. Like him was about to say, I see the one dirty ANJU. That is what him was about to say, and him change him talk when him remember say it's national TV this. So all the campaign, ANJU campaign all over the place. Him all over the place a campaign. The people them don't listen, them don't business. Them not taking on ANJU. People sick of him, they don't want to see him. And that is what ANJU can't stomach or tolerate. No man, nobody no want to see man friendly. Not a soul want to see ANJU. ANJU lucky. Right? So as I am saying now, All of 4 article Gleaner have today about ANJU. Somebody clearly pay some sanitization money. PM tasked Water Minister to secure independent power for critical water system. That was 5 hours ago. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has charged the Minister with responsibility for water, Matty Samuda, to develop a plan to put in place independent power supply for critical water systems across Jamaica, so that important facilities such as hospital are not without the commodity during disasters. That is Article 1. Article 2. This one let me just read. The JDF DART team to be deployed in hurricane ravaged community. Article number 3. Prime Minister Andrew Holness, what this now? PM announces fund to help Jamaican fix roof after Hurricane Gilbert. These are articles within a very short succession of each other. Right? Then them have in between that about Nigel, about TUFTON. So they are doing everything to sanitize the JLP. Right? Aside from that, Bear Sports and them something there. Nothing about the comrade leader. Nothing. 8 hours another article. Government establishes disaster fund website with ANJU. Everything, ANJU blast it. ANJU dep on the front of everything. Right? Them I talk about the roof, them were missing. See, the only article that Gleaner put up today about Mark Golding is Golding says government must address damage to Sandy Gully. See there? The only article. But make sure YouTube see it too. When you see how me yarn at my bedtime, you know. That's the only article. So the man is basically trying to sanitize his reputation in every way possible, and he has solicited the Gleaner to help. Surprisingly, the Gleaner tends to be very balanced, but since Hurricane Beryl, I don't see them being balanced at all. I reach 65,000 of people. I'm tired. I want to get me up to the 100 so I can go on my bed. So please work on the TikTok and get it up to 100. I them a book. I'm tired bad. I don't know how I'm so tired, but me want to sleep. Yes, not time that him dirty man. I'm going to top up the life for my comrades and get that 100 there. Because I go drop, whenever I see people attack and fall asleep, that's going to happen. Book a beat me, man. Book a beat me. I read. Yes. I am just reading and catching up with everything that's happening since I was live. Because I'm soon gone on my bed. Let me see what they say. Arsonist catches himself afire while destroying bit. Oh, that is not here. Okay. Alright, so basically that is it. That is it, comrades. That is it. You know, go and tap up the live. Yes, twin. How are you? How are you, twin? What can I help you with? How you doing? May I go to my bed? I can't even wait till I reach the 100. I'm tired. My brain has shut down for me. So tomorrow now, Comrade Patrick Peterkin, the PNP candidate for East Rural. Remember, you know, comrades, we're going constituency by constituency. We're going to talk to the caretaker them. We're going to talk to the MP them, the spokesperson them. We have already had Comrade Patrick Peterkin on in his capacity as deputy spokesperson for justice. When he came on with the junior spokesperson, Shari and Henry, as well as the shadow minister, who is Donna Scott Motley. So we are going to carry on Comrade Patrick Peterkin in his capacity as the PNP candidate for East Rural St. Andrew, and we are going to talk about what has been happening in East Rural St. Andrew since. We talked about that already, man. Winsome, you did late, man. We talked about the IC report already and how illicit 6 dropped to illicit 2. You know, listen, man. You know, listen to the thing, man. We talked about that. We talked about that already. Yeah, I realize you were off. Yeah, man. Illicit 6 dropped to illicit 2, and the labor right them all over the place I celebrate with them stupid self. Them are half idiot. No sense. Because them don't even understand how the statutory declaration work. Anyway. Yes, Mikey. Best up yourself. So as I was saying, so Comrade Peterkin is going to come on to talk about the devastation to the farmers in East Rural St. Andrew, right? Remember that that East Rural St. Andrew is a farming constituency. He's also going to talk about what happened in the Bull Bay area and how so many houses have been damaged irreparably, and how NWA has had to condemn some of these houses for basically displacing people. Right? Displacing people. I mean, this is crazy. So we have a lot to talk about with Comrade Peterkin tomorrow. So I'm going to make sure I'm going to come on time. I won't be late like today, because today I did have a commitment that went on a little longer, and then it did start late. So yeah, man, election soon come. But I tell you, let me tell you something. We come too far to allow the JLP to beat us on PR, because them is very, very good at no action and peer PR, and we have to call them out. We have to listen. I want you all to listen to me, and listen to me good. We have been doing a very good job in creating alternatives to mainstream media. Big up on yourself. Big up the crew who don't sit down and watch no blasted TVG and CVM news, because you don't know, say, them is an extension of the government, and them a work for the government. Them a get paid off by the government. Big up all of those who know, say, you don't have to be truth seekers on yourself. You don't have to be truth seekers on yourself. Because I don't watch them either. I don't watch them. I can't tell when last I watched them, even when I was in Jamaica. I don't watch them. I don't watch TV. As a matter of fact, me stop pay cable bill. Me pay internet bill. If I want to watch TV, I watch Netflix or something like that. Or my husband watch a lot of sports, so him have the sports app. When I watch cable again, I can't tell when last I go. If I want to hear little news, I might put it on once in a very, very blue moon. I don't rely on them, because you can see the bias. I was having a very interesting conversation today with Comrade Debbie, who was on last week. Deborah Hickling-Gordon, the Shadow Minister on Cultural Affairs. Remember she was on last week. And we were talking about how watered down journalists become. Journalism used to be such a prestigious profession. Now everybody call themselves journalists. I am not a journalist. Let me just put it out there. Me is not a journalist. I'm not pursuing journalism. I'm just a social activist. We love to chat and draw attention to the ills in my society. But when you have journalists who are basically pandering to the Prime Minister and the government for attention because them looking cushy job, remember, it's some of these very journalism houses that the Prime Minister recruits his people from who work in his communications departments. You don't understand that? Exactly, the one Abka. They are political hacks. Abka is not a journalist. He's a political hack who was purporting to be a journalist. Some of them can't even conjugate a sentence. Them can't even write a proper sentence with the proper verbiage. And them call themselves journalists. Journalists get so watered down. And so as a result, we know we're not journalists and we're not calling ourselves journalists. I'm a physiotherapist. Right? Me's a physiotherapist. So as a result, we have to be the change. And make sure we spread our own content. And that means it too no. What is now? I see something with Carol send me. Let me read it. No. Chairman of Integrity Commission, retired Justice Seymour Panton, says the director of the Integrity Commission, who was shot and robbed in a New Kingston car park in September 23, is yet to receive an update from the police on the investigation. That very, you know. Them shoot the man as a warning and thief the things them because them know so the man need to investigate. See what you see how these people play? I know the brother, you know. I know the brother. I know him. I'm not going to call him name, but it's somebody I know. Yeah, man. What go on, Ned? How you do? The IC chairman said the anti-corruption body has also not received an update from the police on the probe body in. Listen, when me telling you that a lot of these police are complicit in the foolishness. They are complicit in the foolishness. 17K. No, Sharia, 77K where they will have 23K to go. But to all me and not enough fall asleep, me know so me not make it. Cause right now me see me a book there. Oh, you see the eye them? Book me a book. But the point I'm making is that they have managed to silence good journalists. They have managed to silence strong, decent, upholding citizens. Check the comment you sent earlier, Mr. Reliable. We just post it again. I can't bother scrolling on me a book. I telling all the time, say me old now. I need to go to bed after a certain time.
No, for a good year, Mark Golding and the rest of the PMP has been
Watch
running
ya.
around talking about.
You Richards, why you sending me labor right content? I tired to tell you stop sending me labor right. I don't want to see them on my page. I don't want to see them on my page. If you want to irritate my spirit, send me things by labor right. I don't want to watch them. Right? Because all of a sudden now, to tell you how they don't have any ability to reason. No ability to reason at all. They actually think that the illicit 6 does not exist. Anyway, make us see how them going try spin it. No, me know them dons. You don't have to tell me how them dons. Because I don't seek them out. Them come here and show how dons them is. We don't have to seek them out. They come right here and show us how dons them is. So we not have to go nowhere. Me don't want to see how that dons them is. Me, I have no curiosity about how labor rights stay. Me don't want to see them. Them irritate my soul. Them irritate my spirit. Them get on top of my last nerve. Alright? I don't want nothing to do with them. I don't want to see them. Anyway, comrades. You know, I'm not going to rob them. I'm going to give them the 5 minutes. Yeah, man. I don't want to see nothing from them. I don't want to see nothing. I don't want to see anything from them. We need to change Andrew's name to Ananias. Lord God. And Sapphira. You said Juliet name Sapphira. So Ananias. I saw the story name Ananias and Sapphira. Oh, she named Sapphira. I saw it name. Don't tell me, no, because I'm not really too good on the Bible thing. It named Ananias and Sapphira. See me just get this something them. Also, the Prime Minister has now clarified. Lord God. Prime Minister Office clarifies purpose of the additional 4 million allocation. Jesus Christ, something wrong with this man. The Office of the Prime Minister has clarified that the additional $4 million set aside for each constituency is to be used for shelter recovery, economic rehabilitation, and clearing of roads. The Prime Minister stated earlier that the funds were for roof repairs following. Lord have mercy. I can't bother. Wanna help me with this, man? Roof repairs. I hope he remembers how they ended up. The Taters never had a happy ending. No, but guess what? Him think him going to have a happy ending, you know. The man, you can't tell the man say him not going to have him happy ending. You cannot tell the man that he's not going to have his happy ending. All me know say Gleaner is putting a lot of focus on, and since burial, Gleaner putting a whole heap of focus on Andrew. Whole heap, and you have to wonder. You have to wonder. Anyway, comrades, let me get prepared to play the trumpet. Jamaica Arise, so we can end because my head and my fall asleep and I need to go find something to soothe my stomach, and because listen, Ananias and Sapphira was killed because thank you. See, me know say a long time me no go Sunday school, you know, but me remember some little things. Little things. A long time I not go Sunday school. I bet you say if I ask my picnic them who Ananias and Sapphira is, them can't talk. My granny used to carry me go church and Sunday school. Yes, man. Same Comrade Glorious why I was talking about and in the conversation with Comrade Pat. But let us find the trumpet. You see how my eye them look now? I want my bed. So remember, comrades, tomorrow, what I said we're doing tomorrow, we are speaking with Comrade Patrick Peterkin, the PNP candidate for East Rural St. Andrew, and he is going to talk about the plight. So now make sure to tune in, because we're going to go round. Now is the time that we are going to expose every single PNP candidate to you so that you know who the candidates are. A lot of you don't know who the candidates are. We are now going on a drive to bring the candidate them to honor so and see who the candidate them is. So we're going to talk to Comrade Patrick Peterkin out of East Rural St. Andrew tomorrow. Alright, so I want to make sure so on a day here at 7:30 sharp for the conversation, because a lot is happening in East Rural. Alright, and as we go through, we're going to be talking to these candidates. We're also going to be talking to the councillors. Yeah, man, and friendly, you know, we have to educate. It can't be about preaching and cussing all the time. You know, I love cuss, but sometimes we have to put out the information, yes, and we want to expose your MP in waiting. And remember, comrades, if you want me to talk to your representative, reach out to me. That is all you have to do. Reach out to me. Paula reached out to me today and said, "Me need to talk to Comrade Patrick," and just like that, it was arranged. So if you don't want me to talk to a candidate, you can contact me. You know, I don't know nothing. Whoever you want to hear from, you contact me. Simple as that. All right. So make we stand at attention now. We're gonna play. No, this is not it.
Get the broom, yo.
Wrong song. Sorry. Apologies.
Responded my countrymen all. So awake from your slumber and answer the call. The torch has been lighted, the dawn is at hand. Who joins in the fight for his own native land? Land of my birth, I pledge to be loyal and faithful.
That is it, comrades. Good night. Remember to follow me on all platforms. If you're not already following me on TikTok, please do. Remember, I want subscribers for my TikTok. When you can subscribe to the TikTok too, subscribe to me on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook. Alright? I'm on all platforms. I give enough trouble, comrades. Enough trouble me give. That's why Liberate ate me like a dose of poison. Them wish me would have shut up. But to follow me, subscribe. Remember, if you want to offer contribution, I will not say no. Give me gifts. I love gifts on TikTok. But I also have CASHAPP, and I also have what the other one named ZELLE. Right? We are not paid to blog. Right? Just remember that. We'll treat this like a job, but it is all out of our, it is all voluntary work. So if you want to contribute, feel free to contribute. Alright, we're not like the labor rights where the labor right government pay the people them for talk about them. We don't work like that. We do this because we love. We do it for the love. Yes, and friendly, the elephant man ready for sweep with the termite them. Right? Yes, we do it in the name of love. Right? But sometimes a little encouragement sweeten labor. You understand me? So sometimes you know give some encouragement. Right? If you're on TikToks, and I'm trying to get subscribers. So subscribe. Not just follow me, but subscribe to my channel. That is a way that TikTok will also pay me as a content creator if you subscribe to my platform. Alright, comrades. So wanna enjoy your night. Until tomorrow at 7:30 sharp. We'll see each other then. Alright, take care.